Why I do that is at the end, I'm trying to reinforce all the things they said of why they want to do it, because he's thinking about reasons not to do it, but the summary at the end ties it all back. Affordability, value, need, product, deductibles, morale, retention, disability for you, adding dental back. I got to bring all that back in the last minute and a half because they forgot what happened 13 minutes ago. So I just need a couple of dates. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me talk to my broker about it.
Okay. We work with a lot of brokers around the area. If you want to tell me who your broker is, I'm more than happy to give them a call and see what they think about voluntary benefits.
You know, it might be easier if I contact them. You know, I don't want to bother them.
Okay, so what are you going to ask your broker about if you don't mind me asking?
If he knows anything about AFLAC, you know, and see if this is something that he thinks fits in our benefits package. You know?
Okay. Now, we just talked about your benefit package a little while ago. You talked about how you took dental away because you couldn't afford it anymore and the guys got on you a little bit. You talked about how you went from a low deductible to a high deductible plan, which has some exposure and risk put on for the employees. Right? We talked about how you'd like some tax savings because that would make some sense to you if you lowered the FICA and FUTA contributions. And this is not going to cost you any money. I see it kind of as a win-win. I'm not sure why we have to make it a, you know, get the whole gang together.
Well, I just like to, you know, include him on those decisions.
Okay. If you want to set up a call, more than happy to get on that call too. What I'd like to do is maybe put a little bit of information together for you. I'll bring back a packet of information out for your employees, but I can summarize some information that if you want to run it by the broker, at least you have armed with a little bit more information in case some questions, pricing, plans that I think would fit in, that kind of stuff. If that would make sense, more than happy to help out.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now guys, in the big picture, when they pound the broker thing, at the end of the day, it's not a great answer to that. And when they get to the broker, and the broker's not pro-AFLAC, you're done. It's over. So I can get a little nasty, I can get a little exchange, I can push back a little bit, but at the end of the day, the broker card's a pretty good one. I don't have some great answers to that. We work with brokers all the time, love working with brokers. Can you tell me who the broker is? Because I'd like to do some research. I'll even pay the broker if I want to go down that road, but if he's dead set on getting the broker involved, I'm crossing my fingers hoping the broker's going to be pro-AFLAC, not contracted yet, wants to be contracted with me, and lets me come in and talk to those employees.
What are the odds of that, though?
It's you know, it could be anything. I don't know. I mean, he could say I'm doing ABC brokerage and it's not an AFLAC broker. He could be pro-colonial. So he could say, don't talk to those AFLAC guys. There's a lot of turnover there. Got a colonial guy. You're done. It's over. You move on to the next place. It's okay to not have a great answer to all of them, but the broker card's a tough one. Alexander?
Would you say this is the highest risk refutation?
Say that again?
Would you say this is the highest risk refutation out of all of them?
The broker?
Yeah.
It's really a toss-up between, like, I think I can overcome polling the employees easier than I can overcome broker. So I think the broker, other than I got to talk to the partner, right? Because that's what he's going to give me in a second. We'll spend a few minutes on that. Other decision maker and broker are probably 1 and 1A, and the toughest things to overcome. Polling the employees, I think they're easier to overcome, but I can't control him. He can still do it without me doing it. So we'll come back to that. Too good. Hold on a second, Elaine.
Not so much in overcoming the objective, just a general question. So brokers, they're paid on the policies they sell. So if they're selling the silver level, and this guy says, well, yeah, my AFLAC agent said they can, help me go down to a lower deductible, aren't you affecting the broker's paycheck?
You're definitely questioning the broker's decision-making process.
Okay.
So you're definitely pissing them off. Now remember, a lot of the accounts I'm asking you guys to go work probably don't have a broker because we're talking 10, 12, 14-person accounts.
Okay.
Now, 25, 30, 35, 40, they're more in the broker space. 5 years ago, brokers didn't even go below 50. Now they're getting into that space because they're making less money because they're less commission-based than they used to be. So I don't think a broker is going to be a huge challenge for you in the smaller space, but when it does come across, and again, in your binder, there's some stuff about broker we can talk about.
Does the employer have to go through the broker?
You do not. That's what, basically what I wanted to say is, well, you can't make your own decisions, man? You gotta run it by the broker? Now, it's tough to say that, but I kind of said, hey, win-win, kind of a no-brainer, it doesn't cost you any money. What do we gotta get the whole group together for? I mean, you wanna offer the employees or not, it comes out of their paycheck, it doesn't cost you any money. I'm fixing 7 problems you just talked to me about. I mean, I wanna say, you should be thanking me, man, and fire your freaking broker for not bringing it in already. But the broker could be his brother-in-law, I can't go there, but that's the stuff I'm thinking about. But it is what it is. It's a good out. It's a good out. Kev?
You technically say the catch is if you just get him on board, that gets you more like employees, more people, income, you say?
For the
So
broker?
technically that's like, no, for you. Because technically I guess that would be the catch, but it's not, doesn't hurt anything. It just helps you get more people. Because that's why you target the business owner, because then he has all the employees. Instead of you going individually, you just hit him and then.
Yeah, right, if I can get him interested in buying a policy, then he's less worried. I'm hoping I convinced him of some of that throughout the presentation.
Yeah, because I was saying like, because like the catch, like I always think about that, like, what is the catch? Because it seems too good to be true.
And that's why I gave the answer about the 40 million policyholders, there's no catch from business for 60 years, a lot of credibility. You don't get to stay in business for 60 years if this is make-believe.
Yeah. I just
Right?
don't understand why not everyone has AFLAC.
It's
If
an
that-
education thing.
So
Guys, we have AFLAC, I mean, this market, if you guys do a little bit of research, if you look at voluntary benefit sales over the last 5 years, they probably have doubled. And they'll probably triple over the next. The worse healthcare reform gets, the more need for voluntary benefits. So 20 years from now, AFLAC sales should be 2.5 billion or 3 billion, because everyone's gonna need it. And not even like a maybe. You know, you said voluntary benefits are being forced down people's throat based on the crappiness of health insurance. You just happen to be working for the #1 provider of those benefits. Good, right place, right time. So it's not when they get it, it's not if they get it, it's when they get it. Because everyone's gonna have something like this. It's just, there's no other way to go. There's too much risk to mitigate. Another objection. Do the perp polling the employees.
You know, Kev, yeah, everything you're saying makes sense, but, you know, I gotta tell you, I know my guys aren't gonna really be interested, but tell you what, I'll go ask them, and if there's some interest, I'll have you come back in.
I get that a lot. I really respect that. At the end of the day, you got a lot going on in your business to run a construction company. The last thing I want you doing is my job. So let me just come in, I'll bring in the pizza, I'll bring in the donuts, let me talk to the guys. Again, if there's no interest, you're a hero. If there is interest, then all I need is 3 more employees. Push back again.
Well, yeah, I don't wanna take up your time. Look, it's just as easy for me to go around, and just take a quick head count.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I spent a lot of time and effort getting certified and licensed to sell insurance. And there's very specific things of questions and answers that are stuff that comes with an insurance license. And I don't want to put you in a spot, but they can ask you some questions that you don't know the answers to, or maybe even give them the wrong information because you haven't been licensed to sell insurance. No different than would you give me a bag of nails and a couple of hammers and go out there and start building decks for you without any level of certification.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, push back, say that doesn't work either. Keep going.
No, but you know what, my guys aren't certified to build decks. In fact, basically, I hire young guys who've never swung a hammer before, and we train them.
Okay, no, and that's great, and you probably do a good job because I've seen that your bobos all over town. You're doing a nice job. So I know you still want to survey the employees. Again, if you don't want to get me in front of the employees, do me a favor. Do you have 2 or 3 guys on your team that you really respect, that you think they can really represent what the needs are of your guys? Maybe a foreman, a supervisor. You got a couple of guys that you respect?
I don't know if they're gonna want to take their time. I mean, then they gotta come off their shifts, and
Hey, I'll buy everybody lunch. I was gonna buy pizza for the guys, but why don't we go to that nice little burger joint on the corner there that I see a lot of you guys coming at and meet you, a couple of the supervisors. Let's sit down for 30 minutes and buy everybody lunch. Let's just find out if you think there's some interest in it. I kind of call it a key person meeting. Let's see if there's some interest, because if those folks say there's some value in it, because they know these guys really well and what they're griping about, maybe that could work.
I don't even know who I choose, because then I'm gonna get the other guys griping about why didn't I get the chance, because they didn't get to go.
Fair enough. You know what? I got a couple of one-pagers that I'll put together. Let me come back. I'll give you all the information you need. I'll give it to you, and then you can pass it on to your employees. And all I'll ask is a fair, honest answer back. If 3 or more people show some level of interest, I'll even put my phone number on it. They can call me with any questions. If I get 3 or more people call me back, then you let me talk to the guys, and we'll take care of it from there. How about that?
All right.
That was 5 layers deep on polling the employees, right? So I went from, let me do the meals, you're a winner either way, to don't you do the job, I'm better at the job, don't want to take your job, you don't want to do my job, to key man meeting, let's get just a few people together if he doesn't want to do the big group, to finally just give it in and say, you know what, here's some information, go for it, but at least I'm arming you with it. I'm hoping I don't have to get to that last one, but you got to be prepared to go there. Cool? Got any other ones?
Yeah. And everything you're saying makes sense, but you gotta know my guys. I mean, look outside. They're all driving, you know, crotch rockets and four-wheelers and stuff like that. These guys just live day by day. And, you know, they're not thinking what's the best thing. They're in their mid-20s and they're just thinking, nah, I'm gonna live forever and I don't wanna spend my money on insurance, even though don't get me wrong, your product's good, you know.
I love that answer, and if you have any extra time, I want you to start coming out and doing some employee presentations for me, because you know how much insurance that I'd be able to cover people with if everybody drove four-wheel drive vehicles, and as you refer to them, crotch rockets. Those things sound like one slippery thing away from a train wreck of an accident. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but you know, they don't think of it that way. I mean, you know these guys, they live for the moment, and they want to basically spend their money on the toys, and they're willing to fork out the rest.
100%, I'm with you. If this stuff was $50, $60, $100 a week, I'd agree with you. But you think we can talk the guys into getting the medium coffee and not the large, and spend $5 a week, pre-taxes down to $4 for an accident plan, that in the event that something happened on those vehicles, they'd actually get $1,000, $2,000 coming in and out of the hospital?
Man, Kevin, you know, my guys and I have gone out after work for beers and stuff, and I tell you, these are the cheapest son of a bitches you'd ever want to see.
Okay.
I mean, they're looking for the dollar beer, and they're still griping about having to pay that, even though it's a crap beer.
I take the challenge. You're probably right. But I've been doing this business for 12 years. Do me a favor. All I'm asking you to do is get me in front of the guys. Let me get in front of the guys. They're so cheap, where they like a free meal. I'll upgrade from the pizza. I'll get Panera. I'll get everybody $10 salads. Got 12 guys, spend $120 on a meal. Have these guys go and pick what the restaurant you want it from. You want chicken parm? You want the place down the block? Have them come in. If nobody's interested, we took them for $120 in meals. But I'm thinking when I describe this to these guys, a couple of people are going to say, you know what, I could have used that when I got into the skiing accident, the snowmobile accident. Let's see. So I'll take your challenge on. What do you think? Free meal on the table for everybody. I talked to the 12 guys.
Okay, I mean, but be prepared. They're going to get the free meal and they're going to go on.
I'll take the challenge. That's the business I'm in.
Right.
You go out on a lot of bids, you don't win all the jobs, but you got to go out on all the bids, right?
Yeah, all right.
That's what I'm going to do the same.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, good job. The only thing that we haven't covered is the other decision maker, right? If I got to run it by the partner, the spouse, the other guy, that's the best out of them all. Because I don't have a great answer. I asked them to come to the meeting, they said no. Can you go get them now? Not available. Can we schedule another meeting so the three of us together? Maybe. But if none of that happens, I cross my fingers and hope I did a good enough job in this 15 minutes that he tells the spouse, the partner, that this is something we should do. But again, that's probably one of the biggest challenges when I'm speaking to the non-decision maker. That's a tremendous out. That's a tough one to overcome.
But could you then counter with, well, you know, no offense, but like when we spoke earlier, you asked me if there was another decision maker and you said no.
It's a fine line, man, because now you're calling their bluff a little bit, and you can, you know, Jillian pushed the envelope a little bit towards the end before about let's get those dates on. I can kind of go there, and I think if I got some rapport. Heck, if I think I got some rapport, I could say, dude, you're gonna let your wife make your decisions for you, man? Come on, you know, you're not even buying anything here. I think if you're gonna buy a car or a summer rental, maybe you gotta run it by somebody, but I'm asking you to bring some benefits to your employees. It doesn't cost you any money. You gotta run that by somebody? Now again, that's a lot of nerve coming out. Again, I don't know if everybody's ready for that, but again, if I know you pretty well, or I feel like we got some rapport, I can kind of go there, but more than likely, you're not gonna, so I'd be cautious. So I'd play that, and most than likely, I'd probably let them go talk to the decision maker, and I'd follow up and cross my fingers and hope I can do something. But if I do this well, because one last thing, and Alexander will get to you, and I'll wrap this up, is I got to talk to another decision maker. Well, I should have said this in front of all of these. Other than talking to the other decision maker, or surveying your employees, or my guys can't afford it, or talking to the broker, is there anything else getting in the way of you moving forward with this? And a lot of them will say no. Now I've isolated the objection. So if I do address it in the next minute and a half, like I just did, well, you know, I don't know if they'll be interested. Now, quite frankly, Mike, you just told me 5 minutes ago that if price wasn't the only problem that you had, and I convinced you that price was not an issue, now all of a sudden you got another objection? Come on, what are we doing? I mean, I just solved 7 of your benefit problems, and all. So is it me? Is it, what am I missing? Right? So always try to isolate the objection, because if you do address it, it's tough for them to say, oh, I got one more, when just 2 minutes ago you said that I have no other problems but this one. But if you do this right, price, value, need, solving problems, they have less of these objections on the back end. Cool? Okay. All right, guys, good exercise, good stuff. So again,